I'm white. I'm white. Unseasoned. A Caucasian.
Hey guys, what's going on? Now, I've said this a long time ago to Dominicans. I've said in the past, if we don't establish who we are as a people, somebody else will start telling us who we are. All right? And so that's what's been happening. The Afro-Americans have decided that they're going to be the spokespersons for Dominicans and start telling Dominicans who they are. And apparently, as you saw in the previous video, this guy was told by African Americans who Dominicans are supposed to be. You could tell by his reaction. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it from his family. He couldn't hear from his family. You know, he didn't get any of this information from his family. He clearly got the information that he believed from the Afro-American community. And so now he had to upload this utterly bafflingly pathetic, embarrassing video and show his shame for not knowing who he was and display his utter baffling ignorance. And what I want to know is really, how can you have somebody tell you that you're something that you're very clearly, blatantly, obviously not? All you need is a mirror. It took a DNA test for this guy to know that his ancestry was overwhelmingly European descendant. This is the type of pathetic, imbecile nonsense that we are dealing with today in our community, the Dominican community, Dominican Yorks in particular. These are the people that seem to be confused about this, while everyone else can clearly see you and tell what you are, right? Oh man. Let's just do a little bit of calculation real quick. So his DNA test showed up 36% Portugal, plus 31% Spain, plus 7% Ireland. Those are some strong Catholic genes you have there, you know, strong Catholic ancestry. You, sir, are 74% Southern European. Apparently you thought you were something else. You look like an idiot with those braids in your hair, like a fool. You know, you look like a wigger. Oh my God. Oh man, you are rightfully embarrassed. And then his whole perception of his European genes comes straight from the Nogs, shows utter shame. I mean, who knows? This wigger is probably feeling such shame for feeding his female relatives to these Nogs that told them something else. All you needed was a mirror, sir. All right? If you would have ran into me, I would have told you, you're not black. And I don't need a DNA test to tell you this. I would have told you this. I would have told you this. All right? Unfortunately, you didn't come across anybody like me. You're not related to anybody like me, probably. You should be. You would have saved yourself a lot of embarrassment. You wouldn't have had to upload this embarrassing video. And you should really learn about your ancestry, really, because you have more to be proud of than you did thinking that you were freaking some sort of jungle people. You know, I mean, hello, look in the mirror. Look at your hair. Look at your complexion. Your hair texture, you know what when idiot you look like with those braids in your hair? You have the right to be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. You're not even that African. And don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Stop listening to these jigs. Stop listening to these jigs. Stop handing your women over to these jigs. All right? This guy's, all the women in his family probably sleeps with blacks because of him. You know, you have to understand though, whether you realize it or not, the women in your family are led by the actions of the men in the family. All right? And the problem is that the men in the Dominican community have not taken their role as the leaders of the family. They have not taken it. They haven't accepted it. Right? They just kind of did whatever the hell they wanted to. Just kind of, I just want to live. I just want to live. Right? And this is what happens. This is what happens. Then we had something like this happen with this chick, Danny Lay, and she has a Uyghur brother too. Wow, what a surprise. There was this other chick. She made a video talking about some other girl saying that she is not black. And this girl is clearly European. And then you look at her parents. You look at her parents and you see that they're clearly European descended. Stop this. Stop this nonsense. Stop this nonsense. You know? And the issue is that this isn't something that's spoken about in our families. This is the problem. This is the problem. All right? This is the problem. This is the core, the root of the problem, and this shit needs to end. Okay? This needs to end. Ignorance, there's no excuse for ignorance anymore. There's no excuse for ignorance anymore. If you're one of these Dominicans, please look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Stop this shit. We can't afford this anymore. We cannot. All right? You're turning us into Haiti. You're bringing us into the mud of this African cesspool, and you're destroying us. Stop it. We can't permit it anymore.